Hi there. In this video we are going to attempt to repair this Star V6 LED lithium powered flashlight. It has an 18650 lithium ion cell in it. And the issue with this one is that the switch itself is not working properly from new. So it's not because of age. It's, you can see if I touch it, it almost makes contact, but not really. The flashlight in itself is really good, but I will tell you about that in a moment. Okay, so first thing, let me make sure I get the cell out. This is their own brand. I'm not sure how big they say it is, but from what I remember, I think I tested this a while ago and it said 1200 milliamp hours or something like that. Not great, not terrible. For what it needs to do, it does the trick. And it's nice of them that they actually rebranded this thing with their own logo. So that gives you a bit of confidence, at least. A really no-name cheap brand would not go to that trouble. This thing, really heavy aluminum. As far as I can tell, this is glass. Yep, it's glass. So the lens is not plastic, which again is quite good. It can form a beam at 5 meters. It can be 1 meter. No, sorry. Yeah, it's not giving you its radius or diameter as I initially thought. So sorry about that. A small error from my side. At 5 meters, you have X1, which who knows exactly how big it will be, and you can make it 2000 times bigger. So from a small patch probably it can be 2000 times bigger, which honestly doesn't give you that much info. And this is how you actually activate the zoom. And this, yeah, you can also rotate it, but that does absolutely nothing. But this slide itself, really satisfying and quite smooth. So overall this thing gives me the impression of decent quality. Let's take a quick peek inside of it. You can see the shiny aluminum down in here, although in reality it's not that shiny because it's black, but it becomes really shiny when the light is inside of it. And down in there we have the contact right in the middle, and that one should be the oopsie daisy, should be the positive right in the middle, and the rest of it is the negative on the outside. But yeah, let me show you what else you get. I think this was about $10 and a few of my friends bought them. All of them were working right. I bought one for my father. It's working right. Mine sadly isn't. But hey, I guess from all of us that bought them in one buy together, probably it's best that mine isn't working because I have the biggest chance of trying to fix it. Not sure if succeeding, but at least trying. It has this thing. Yeah, if you are watching this video just for the repair itself, it will be after I show everything in here, because this is somehow a two-in-one, repair and review. So it has this, which overall you can put it at your belt or maybe in your rucksack or something. But what I'm not that keen about is this, because as you can see, normally this has the possibility to slide a bit lower in here, and if this slides lower, you can overlap this, that it almost doesn't touch at all. I never liked that. I like cases to be really snug. This isn't perfectly snug, as you can see, but whatever. Probably this is universal, so maybe it works for a bigger one, or you can also put it in fully extended and then it would fit perfectly, although when you push it in, it also it actually de-extends itself. But let me insist, no, then it's too long if it's fully extended. So yeah, no, for sure this is universal. Anyway, you can use it, that's the idea. It's not perfect, but you can use it. The charger is, Jesus, is the lightest thing I've seen in my life, and I highly do not recommend you use it. What is this? 500 milliamp hours at 4.2 volts. This is honestly a fire waiting to happen. And here is the charger itself, which basically probably has a bit of electronics that just controls the way the charge flows into the battery, because this will be just a dumb power brick with same voltage, same current, and this needs to take care of giving the battery the correct voltage and current depending on where it is during the charging process. Let me show you. Weirdly enough, it shows as what? Shows also AC as input. 220 volts. What are you talking about? No. So it has two inputs. That's just dumb. Yeah, no. Maybe they have the same case for different internals, which somehow also includes this, but fire waiting to happen. I do not recommend it. You have the option of using this thing, which uses 3 AAA cells. Just in an emergency it will work with this, but I think it will drain them quite quickly. It seems to be some brass, doesn't look like copper to me. Maybe it's just covered and it's aluminum or something, who knows. Anyway, this is decently strong, but again, mostly for emergencies or if you just forgot to charge this thing. Anyway, it has a charger for the car. This one doesn't even tell you anything. Again, it's only the weight of the plastic itself. I have no idea. I would never ever use this thing. To use it from USB. Yeah, again, a really flimsy cable. And this, if you want to attach it to your handlebar or something else. Basically, you put this on the pipe, and this thing will be through it like this, and it will stay in there. Well, of course, you adjust it where you need it, but yeah, that's the trick. Anyway, there's that. But this is good quality because basically it's a rubber, so it cannot actually be that bad of a quality. And this thing is also universal as far as I can see. So this usable, this usable, usable. In case of emergency. The case itself, nothing special, just plastic, quite thin plastic, I want to add, but it does the trick with a sponge inside. But these things, they do work. So my father is charging his with these things. He doesn't have another lithium charger. They do work. They did not catch on fire, but you need to be right next to them and supervise them every single second they are plugged in. I don't trust them at all. I have a different, much better charger. I will link a video in the description. I'm charging with that one, the cell itself. Okay, so that's about it about the product. For about $10, yeah, I would buy it again without hesitation. All the others that we bought are okay. Mine just it's a weird program, so yeah, bad stuff happens from time to time. I just deal with it. Now the switch itself is in here, and I'm expecting the electronics to be also in here, and this just to be a dumb receiver that just connects the LED to the voltage, and everything is happening in this switch that I need to find a way to open up. So be back in a second. Okay, I attempted to pry this out, and as you can see, it's a really soft white plastic, no chance. Initially I wanted to remove this rubber thingy and push it from this side, because if I just push on the switch I will simply damage it, it will not come out. But it seems this thing doesn't want to come out. So this not working, and I don't want to damage anything. What did I do? What everybody does? Searched on YouTube, and somebody else has opened one of these apart fully. I think it's a longer model, but I'm expecting it to be identical. And I will link that video in the description in case you have problems in this area, something not making contact, for example, or something like that. But for me, it's this. Weirdly enough, in his, this thing comes out extremely easily. So as most YouTube videos, I'm expecting it's not the first time he opens his, and mine will go a bit harder. So I needed just to pull on it like crazy almost. You just put your fingernail and yank it out. And it seems it does come out. So there's that. Now we are at the switch itself. As you can see, black area all around, so we put something that doesn't push directly on this but on the whole black area all around. Then just lay it on the table or hold it in your hand and slightly tap on it. So let's do that. Yes, this will be a bit noisy. This thing enters over the switch, so it will not damage it, and just slightly tap it. Yeah, and yes, I can already feel it going down. This has reached into the table, so at this point I can directly push it with my hand. And voila, we are out. Now sadly, I'm not sure if I can actually open up this little switch in here. So yeah, but I need to continue because this thing is not working otherwise. So now we are in uncharted territory. Let me attempt to simply get the black part out. It seems to be working. Yes, so we have a spring down in there that only makes contact, nothing more. And this is just a simple switch, but it seems to be glued in place. So is the electronic actually somewhere else? I might try something else, honestly, for the moment. Just put some contact cleaner and run this through its paces. Maybe it was just a bad contact somewhere. So because as you can see, it is locked shut. This is not something that you can open. So there is a chance if I open it, I can never put it back together. But weirdly enough, the electronics isn't here. So this is again just a dumb switch. So where is the electronics in this thing? Okay, this doesn't actually make sense, because here we should only have the PCB with the LED on it. Interesting. I'm going to use this from, I think it's from a petrol station, and just put it in here through this hole and just play around with the switch until I get bored. Yeah, and you can hear my daughter in the background. Put a bit more of this and play around with the switch a lot. So be back when I think I've done this enough. Okay, I'm starting to put this thing back together. The force seems to be normal, so I honestly don't see any reason why the switch itself is not working perfectly. Yeah, it should be working. So let me put this thing together, something like this. I used some of this even in here, some contact cleaner. You know what? You know what? Maybe the... Yep. Something else is the matter probably here. This spring seems just a little bit too short. So let me straighten it just a bit more. So I force it to put more pressure in here. Maybe it's too much, we will find that in a moment. But in my hand it just felt not enough. Now it is probably a bit too much. But should be still doable to put everything back together. Oh man. So I'm basically balancing everything in here to make sure the spring is in the middle. This is not a really good design, honestly. I think it's in the middle. It was in the middle for a while. Now it's not anymore. Okay, so basically I need to... My daughter in the background. I need to play around with this until I can get it in there. And yes, now it's not able to stay, but it is pressing it much more. Before, as you could see, I needed to pull on it to come out. So now it's trying to come out by itself. So as long as the white one is able to hold on to the... yeah, it just went on a side. To hold inside here, to keep it pushed, we are making much better contact than we were making before. But yeah, let's get to that point because we are not there yet. And something is telling me that it will be quite difficult to get to this point the way I did it now, because I need to keep it pushed in and start pushing it in here. Yep, this is going to be a bit of an issue. Yeah, I'm pushing on the white one. It is going there, but quite slowly. So if I release it, yeah, it just pops apart. Ha! Maybe I shouldn't have extended that spring. Be back when I manage to somehow keep it in here while pushing the white one as far as it needs to go. Because to compress that spring, I don't think it's possible. Managed to actually compress the spring. This is weird. It's quite... yeah, and almost damaged my fingernail. It's quite a strong spring, but from a quite soft material. It's weird. It's not exactly what a spring should be like, but yeah, whatever. It should still perform enough for this application, in theory at least. So let's somehow make sure it's in the middle and lock this thing in place. As you can see, it is trying to push it out, but not as much as before. And when I will put the battery, it's already preloaded a bit. So it's going to make a good contact for sure. Maybe this, what I did, wasn't required, but I was here anyway, so don't really care. Cleaned this on the inside again with some contact cleaner. And now let me try and find that red rubber piece that my daughter stole. The end cap, the button itself. Huh. My daughter told me where it was. Yep. Kids. This, I don't think it will fit in here. No, so I need something bigger to push this thing back in place. Put this thing aside, and now let's put the rubber right in here. Hopefully. Yep, it went in there. And now let me just give it one last contact cleaner, because I touched it, so I don't want to leave any residues on this. And now in theory, tell me it's the other way around, it should be going in there quite happily, and I need something to push it all the way in place, because I cannot do it with my hands, push it fully. Be back in a second. Found something which isn't probably the ideal thing, but anyway, should do the trick. Seems to be going, but I do need something stronger. I risk damaging this and I don't want that. Using a hex socket, and I will just slightly tap it. It's going in quite easily, so I don't want to overdo it. Make sure it's at the same height all around, and then just stop it until before you actually damage anything. Squeaky clean, as you can hear from the contact cleaner. Yep, so this part is okay. Now let's give it a test and see if this was the problem, or the problem is actually somewhere in there, which would actually suck. But yeah, in the end we would end up taking everything apart. So let's get the cell itself. Hopefully it is solved. I don't really want to take this thing apart, honestly. I'm hoping for a quick fix. Yep, and it was a quick fix. So the switch just didn't make good contact. As you can see, we can switch through all the modes, which is perfect. Oh, pressed too much. So that's about it. Hope this video helps somebody out there to clean their switch. And again, a video is linked in the description that shows you how to open up this whole thing in case you have bad contact somewhere around this area, the lower part. But for me it was in this. And overall, this is good. Doesn't heat up that much. It's not that powerful, honestly, but it's good to have around the house. Let me show you how much it actually. This is what they call 1x zoom, and from 1x, while I put it back, spreads about this much. Okay, so a few days later, that thing started misbehaving once again. So probably just the switch itself is somehow damaged internally, or it's a bit corroded, and yeah, I'm not going to open it and try and somehow fix the internals of the switch. I just came on eBay, searched for LED flashlight switch. These things came up, sort by lowest price plus shipping. And the first one, if I enter it, it seems it's giving me 1 amp of working current. Many others only say 0.5 amps. So in theory, if they don't lie, this is the better switch. And it's a 20mm switch for this particular flashlight. This is what we need. The exterior is 20mm. So I'm going to buy this, and when it arrives, I'm replacing the switch, because I cannot a few days clean it, then works a few days, then clean it, then works a few days. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to replace it, and that's about it. So let's wait for the package now. 20mm in diameter, that's the only important thing. The rest, they are quite simple to know if they are okay or not, because they look the same as ours, but there are a few diameter differences. So again, 20mm is what we need. Let's get the old one out and put one of the new ones in and keep the other one just for future backup. They seem to have a model number in case it helps anybody out there. So at this point, just pushing this thing in. Oh, actually no. Putting this thing, come on, in from this side because it's much easier than from the other side. So now pushing this thing in, and we should be good to go and give it a test. The new one doesn't seem to be latching in place. So it's in the final position. If I hold on to this and try to click it, it will work. You can hear it. But if I don't hold on to that, it's out. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue all around it, not on the metal part, we need contact there, and let it dry. And that should be it. Don't know if I remembered to show you the dried up glue. It came out a part of it, but it's still enough inside that this thing will not move. Okay, so the new button is in. Going through the modes without absolutely any issues, and if I shut it off, it powers on the same mode. Actually no, because I'm powering on too quickly, my bad. So this is max brightness. Shut it off and wait for a while. Still max brightness. Shut it off, wait a bit. Still max brightness. So basically when you push on this, it just interrupts the contact for a tiny bit. That's all that it does. Yep, fixed. So it's up to you if you try to clean your old button or directly replace it. This were a few dollars, $3 or something like that, maximum $4, 2 of them delivered. So yeah, replaced one and I have one spare. That's about it for this video. Hope it helps you, in which case please give it a like, check out my other videos, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.